live demo. Okay. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to show you some of the basics of job searching, how to automate as much as possible. So a big reminder from me is make your life easy. You know, most of the job boards there now, you can switch on your job alerts. I'll show you how to do that and what that looks like. And then the key takeaway I think you're going to have is how to use Boolean search strings. So don't worry if you've not heard about those before. It's really simple. I know it sounds complicated, but it's really simple when you start using them, and again, should save you lots and lots of time. Okay, so I'm now going to go and share my screen again with you. Here we go. Okay, hopefully this will change now. There we are. Okay, and you should be seeing here now the home page of Target Connect, which is obviously our careers vacancy portal, and it's where you'll have gone on today to book in for this event. So I'm just going to log in a test graduate account. So I'm logging in as if I'm a previous graduate. So you'll see a screen very similar to this when you go in. And this is the home page. So some of you will have searched for vacancies on here, some of you won't, that's fine. But I'm going to give you just some basic and overview of what it will look like, and also how to, again, save yourself some time and make sure that you're all set up for success on here. So what you would do first is you would go to search and you would look at opportunities, because that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay. And then the most simple and basic of searches that you would probably look to run, but again, this is all very dependent on your situation, is by occupational area. Okay, so you could go down, I'm just showing you here what's available. So if we look down here, for example, you might want to look at, there might be some social care you want to look at. There might be some healthcare. Just selecting here just randomly, but obviously this is very much dependent on your situation. You might then want to just kind of narrow down by location as well. So you can open up this menu here and you might say, actually, I only want to stay within the Northwest. And you can see it's filtering and filtering and filtering all the time. Okay, and here we've got 21 results that meet that criteria. You might also say, do you know what? I'm not interested in part-time or volunteering roles. I just want graduate positions. So again, you can filter further. And here then it takes it down to 5 results. Okay. If you were then happy with your filters, you can save the search. Now, just to watch out on this is if you're searching via mobile, which most of you probably will be, this is just a red star in the bottom right corner of your mobile screen. It doesn't actually say save this search, and we are working on changing that with the provider. But just at the moment, it's a red star. But by clicking on that, what it means is every time you log in, you'll have an option to view all your saved searches, and it will just completely keep rerunning that search, so you don't need to search it all of the time. It will be there for you in your saved searches. But more importantly, what you need to do is turn on your job alerts by email as well. So again, once you kind of, you've told the system what it is you're looking for, it can do all of the hard work for you. You don't need to log in every day and keep checking. So to do that, you'd go into Me and you'd go into Profile. And then down here, you'd look at your email preferences and you'd need to edit them. There we go. And it will say, obviously, you can update all of your personal information in here as well. But how would you like us to contact you? So you would have to say you'd like to receive the targeted information from Edge Hill University. And we're saying, yes, we'd like to hear about new employer opportunities. Up to you whether you'd want them daily or weekly. And again, also new events as well, like this one. You can have a weekly update. And also you can narrow it down by what type of opportunity. So are you looking for part-time work, placement, volunteering, or graduate positions? You can also select if you're undecided on the occupational areas that you're interested in. So for some of you, you may not have decided exactly what it is you're looking for. So you can keep that ticked and you'll be notified of a range of opportunities. And then further down here as well, you can kind of say, what subject you've been studying, what career sectors you're interested in as well. So here, really, really important for you to kind of have a look and select and make sure. And you can select multiple in here as well. So again, I'm just picking these at random, by the way, in here. But I'm just showing you can select multiple sectors and then save, and then you'd have them all set up there for you. Okay. So I think I just heard in here as well that somebody may have entered something in the chat. I'm just checking if we've got a new attendee. Okay, perfect. But yeah, hopefully, Kathy, you can shout out if anybody's asking anything urgent that I can pick up on. That'd be a great help. So that was our own careers website. Okay. What I'm going to do now is take you into a couple of industry specific websites. So I've got the NHS jobs website here and also the charity jobs page. Now, what we can do is I can show you obviously this just kind of quite generically, but it'd be great as well if you've got some job titles that you're particularly looking for at the moment and locations. So I'll give you a couple of minutes if you just want to pop them in the chat. That would be great. So just any job titles you're looking for at the moment and any locations, or if you want to unmute yourself from mic as well, no problem. And I can make a note of those and we can have a little look and see what job sites we can look through for you. So you've got a message here. Lovely. Thanks, Kathy. Psychology assistant. Perfect. Yes. I thought that could be one actually we have a little look at. I know the NHS had quite a few of those. So I'll start to do that. But as I say, if you think of others, please pop them in the chat. No problem at all. So there are different ways, again, here that you can search. Now, I really like the NHS jobs website, and I'll show you why. So if I put psychology assistant in here, okay, it will prompt me to do that. And I'm just going to put as a location, I'm just going to put Ormskirk. I'm just going to run a really basic search in here first of all. Okay, nothing exactly in there. So let's go back. Can you see here it's searching up to 10 miles? So let's amend the search. Okay, let's go a bit broader. So let's go up to 30 miles. Okay. Now what you can also do in here is, and this is why I like the website, is you can put psychology assistant, it will search for that. It will also search for, see here, psychology graduate, and it'll prompt you and you can search for multiple job titles within a search, which is great. So let's run that search again. Still not coming up with anything on this one. Okay, let's have a little look and see if we've got. Okay, brilliant, Tesney. Hold on to that question actually, because I think Kathy will be able to help you a little bit more with that at the end actually as well, but she has responded there for you too. So let me go into here and amend the search. Okay, I'm going to try Liverpool. Okay, let's see if we've got anything in here. Okay, so nothing at the moment. However, what I would say there is, you can also, there's additional filters in here as well. And we can also just put in, let's just see if we just put psychology on its own as well. Because this is a thing as well, you've got to be quite careful in terms of job titles, just to make sure that you're keeping them as broad as possible. But what you can actually do is, if I just run a, so I'm just going to put this in here as well. Okay, I've just put that as a search. The reason that I've done that is because I wanted to show you how you can then refine as well down the left-hand side here by permanent, fixed term, part-time and full-time. So you can actually really narrow that down. Obviously, got registered psychologist a little bit further on. But I've just searched literally there on assistant. We've got healthcare assistant in Southport. So just play around with it a little bit and check that you've got kind of, the kind of, best kind of criteria for yourself. You can also register and log in, and this is where you'll set up your job alerts in here as well. But there are tons and tons of vacancies on here, and they get updated every day throughout the day. So, do make sure you set up your alerts, because even though if there's nothing today, tomorrow there could well be in there. Okay, so psychological well-being, thanks Kathy, mental health. So let's have a little look and see what comes up on here. We can literally just look at psychological actually as well. Let's see what we can find. We can also put mental health. It seems to be coming up with that one recommended. Okay, let's see if we can come up with anything here. Okay, nothing's showing at the moment actually, which is quite strange because there've been loads of those on there. So don't be disheartened by that, by the way, actually, because there has been quite a lot on there. So don't worry too much if you're not seeing anything right now. But basically, that's a generic way of searching in there. And also as well, as I say, make sure you register, make sure you set up your job alerts because it is updated all of the time. Okay. There's also charity jobs as well, which is quite a good website in here for some of the other roles. I'm just going to check if we've got anything else on here. Yeah, and narrow down by band. So I'll just show you that in here that Kath is referring to. I'll just go back one. And I'll just run that search that I ran previously. Oops. Okay, so that's here. Okay, so you can see the more senior positions are here, and also we've got pay band as well, and the more entry-level positions are here, so you can kind of filter them in this way. And again, by the permanent, the working patterns, there's some additional filters in here suitable for newly qualified applicants, which you can use. And again, it's just worth having a look. Some of the job titles are more obvious as well than others, so maybe start off quite broadly and then kind of narrow it down if you can as well, a little bit in there. Okay, brilliant. So what we can do is have a look in charity job as well. So children's mental health, okay. Let's see if we've got anything in here. And then I can show you. Okay, let's see if this brings, I'm just going to do Liverpool again for us. And I will just do, let's have a look, plus 40. Okay. So it's bringing up, so mental health support, it actually will search not just within the job title, it'll also search within the wording of the adverts itself as well. And all of them are down here on the left. So it's covering right across to Manchester, Ellesmere Port. You can also get job alerts here as well. Okay. And then we've also got support worker, care worker, children's as well. Okay. So let's have a little look. Okay. Narrow this down a little bit. Okay, brilliant. And you can see that it's searching across both of those words here. So they've got some bank support worker opportunities here. Recovery worker, again, might be worth just looking into what that is. So you can see as well the type of organisations that recruit in here. And I'm in charity jobs. So obviously these are charity and third sector organisations. Psychological wellbeing practitioner. So again, another great site for you to have a little look through. Now, one of the things that I kind of want to talk to you about, again, make sure you put your job alerts in here, is just to keep it quite broad and just kind of play around with some of the job titles. So again, this is another great one because it recommends some of the titles to you, which is really good and will give you some ideas. But you might want to, again, just kind of play around with it a little bit. Now, I will try and show you some of the Boolean searches now using some of those job titles. So to do that, just because it searches quite broadly, I'm going to take you into Google Jobs. So this is just, if you're in Google, you can just put jobs in there and it takes you to this page, which is where it's searched for all roles. So using the Boolean search string, what it's doing in essence is it's searching for multiple job titles across multiple job sites, if you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of those job titles we were looking for in there, and I'll show you how it works. So when we were putting in before, so let me just go back to you, Tesney. So Tesney, you had children's mental health. Yeah, so we could say like children's mental health support or worker. Okay. So when we search normally, if I put mental health, if I put support worker, I'm not going to search for it just yet, but just as an example, it will search on each of these words separately and it will bring up the most relevant right at the top. But what it doesn't do necessarily all the way through is bring them up as one particular phrase. So to do that and to make it even more accurate, you would use quotation marks. So that's kind of one of the Boolean search functionalities, and it makes sure that it kind of searches within all of those words as an actual phrase, okay? You would then narrow down by location. So it's got me as Liverpool because I'm at home today, and make sure it kind of narrows it down to say 30 miles or whatever kind of is suitable for you. And all of the roles then would be here, okay? Now, what you might want to do if you're thinking, actually, you know, that's just the job title that I'm looking for, okay, you can kind of then make it a little bit more specific, okay, and you can say, what I want to do is search for that job title and, okay, and you might then want to say children's, sorry, I've forgotten to put my things in, so children's, yeah, or child, okay. Now, by running that, what it'll do is it'll search for that specific job title and give you results that appear with, so it's and, the word children's or child. Okay, and again, we're still Liverpool, location, we've got 60 miles, I'll bring it down to 30. Okay, and you can see here, children and young people's mental health worker. So you can see you can use the word and, you have to kind of put, and there's a link to this on the slides that I'm going to send you anyway. So again, don't worry if you can't get all of this perfect straight away, but it's searching for this job title and one of those words, children's or child, okay? And it's narrowing down and making it even more kind of relevant for you. Another way of searching is, again, if you're not quite sure and you're searching across lots and lots of different job titles, you can use the or function. So you could have mental health support worker, or you could have, say, I keep forgetting my quotation marks, you could have well-being practitioner, there we go. Okay, so trainee psychological well-being practitioner, mental health concern Birkenhead. Now this is on NHS jobs, it says here. So you can see you've just got to really play around with the wording and the job titles here. Mental health support worker, so there's quite a bit in there. Well-being practitioner in Bury. So there's quite a lot. So one of the first ports of call for me probably would be, especially if you're playing around with job titles and trying to understand exactly what the roles are out there, probably come to something like Google Jobs first, because you just can search quite broadly and across quite a number of different sites all at once. Again, you can also set up your job alerts. So what I would do is play around with the job titles, set up, this is called a Boolean Search string. So you can save this on your job application tracker and you can just keep playing around with it. Now, when you feel that you've got a search and a bunch of search results that are really good for you, you can save the jobs here, but you can also turn on your job alerts as well. And all you need is a Google account. You don't need a Google email address, but just a Google account to set up. And again, they'll come to you straight through from email as well. So yeah, looks like there's some really, really good ones out there. You can, again, as I say, kind of filter. So you can share your own location from the device that you're working from here, or you can select locations and distances. You can also look at company types as well, and also employers. So some of the bigger employers that kind of have most of the opportunities you'll see suggested to you here. So worth just having a little look there as well. And also types, you've got full-time, part-time that you can narrow down from as well. But these search strings can be as long as you want. So you can say, or, excuse me, psychology assistant. Okay. So you could, if you wanted, if you're open to quite a few, you can basically add and add and add and add, okay? And it will then notify you. So I'll just run that actually and see if there's anything that comes up here. Okay, so yeah, we've got quite a few in here, look. So again, it's done me to Liverpool. Just keep a check on this location because it keeps increasing it, but we can bring it down. Let's bring it down to 30 miles. Okay, it's got an Old Trafford. Teaching personnel, interestingly, advertising there. Might be worth having a little look, especially for those looking to work with children maybe. Psychology graduate teaching assistant positions. Okay, we've got another one here, rehabilitation. So just have a good play around with that and see what you find. Okay. So it also works in LinkedIn jobs as well, just as and on some of the bigger job boards as well. So it's not just within Google Jobs, and it also works within Indeed as well. So just make sure you have a good play around and see what you can find in there. Okay. So I'm just going to go back in to the slides. Okay. And that then takes us to, I suppose, any questions or any particular support that you want. As I say, you've got kind of Kathy on here as well, who'll be able to give you some extra advice. So Tesney, you're asking a question there, thank you. If if I can get back in. So is it possible to do one of the entry-level jobs if we haven't graduated yet, or is it best to wait? So Kathy, that might be a good question for you if you can answer.
Yeah, I would say personally that if you're a student at the moment, oh sorry, I've got two windows open, so I'm echoing, I'll just change. If you're a student at the moment, then certainly it's a good idea to try and get some sort of part-time work, and you can, a lot of students will have part-time care work or do voluntary work, which will get them that kind of experience. So I don't know if you're still a student or whether you're perhaps in your final year and about to graduate. But either way, yes, absolutely go for one of the entry-level jobs. But obviously, if you're a current student, then make sure you look at the hours, because you don't want to take on so many hours that you can't cope with your degree.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Kathy.
Yes,
that question. Advice.
Yeah, okay, brilliant.
Yes. Lovely. Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, I got to say, I don't think there's any others coming through. Is there?
Sometimes it takes a while to type them in, but
yeah.
But Kate and I can probably hang on for 5 minutes or so if you do want to put anything in the chat. And also, of course, you can put your audio on and ask us as well. I joined a little bit late, Kate, so I don't know whether you mentioned that there's also the resources on the subject pages on the careers website.
Yes, I did.
And those resources will kind of go through your options with your psychology degree, or whichever degree it is that you've got. I think most of you that are here today are psychology students or graduates. So you can look at options with your degree, but also Emma's put a worklet on there as well, which will show you some of the links to some of the job sites that Kate's been showing you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just, while any questions are coming in, I'll just show you this final slide as well.
Perfect.
Just so you can see.
I'll stop my audio, Kate, and you can take over.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so just to show you some of those as well. So again, you'll get all of this sent through to you, but this is the EHU vacancy portal, some generic job boards for you to have a look at, and graduate job boards. And then these are some of the recommended industry websites as well for you to have a little look at in terms of your careers. And as I was saying, I would probably recommend registering on your CV on at least one of them, maybe one generic and one industry specific, where it allows you to, and make sure that you're searchable as well, and your CV's got all those keywords in there. So you probably want things like graduate, psychology as an example. If you've had any work experience or there's any particular modules or your dissertation where you've specialised, then great, get all of that in there, and you'll be searchable then to any recruiters as well. So I'll just give you another few minutes if there's anything else that you want to ask as well. Oh, Kathy's just saying she can't hear me, but I'll just check and. I'll just carry on talking, but if anyone else can't hear, obviously just let me know in the chat in there. Also, here's the link as well, just going to show you there the basics of Boolean searching with some examples as well. So it just will be a one-page reminder of the quotation marks, the and, the or, and how to use the brackets as well. So the brackets tend to be, you can put all of your job titles in one, and then also all of the additional things that you see. It might say something, 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 or something, or something, and something. So before, when we used kind of support worker, and child or children. A good thing actually as well, just while I think about it, to just search in sometimes in some of the job boards, like NHS or charity support worker, is just to literally just put the keyword graduate. Interestingly, when I've done some of these demos before, you can filter to graduate level roles. But if the recruiter doesn't tick that box, it will hardly bring up any opportunities. But just by putting graduate as a keyword brings up many more. So that's just a bit of a tip actually, just to put graduate in sometimes as a search, and then filter it and refine your search down from there in terms of location and industry and so on. Or you could put psychology graduate in the quotation marks. But yeah, really just worth playing around with it a little bit and, you know, having a go and seeing what you can find out there. Thanks, Tony. So no more questions. Okay, great. Thank you. As I say, feel free to unmute your mics as well if that's easier and you're then typing it all out. Right, okay, everyone. So I think that should be it then. Thank you. I will email these slides out for you. It will probably be tomorrow morning. So if there is anything that you need, I'll also offer you the opportunity to have a copy of the recording as well if you wish. But if there's anything else that you need, obviously you can reply to me on that email as well. If you have any questions that you've thought of afterward or you need a reminder of anything, then that's no problem. And obviously there's a link as well to see the resources. And also, you know, if you need to follow up on any of this stuff, there's no problem at all. That's what we're here for. Is that all right? Brilliant. Lovely. Well, thank you so much to everybody for attending today. Hope you found it useful and best of luck with your job search. Thanks, everyone. Take care.